Hello, welcome to SquishiVision, where I'm going to give my thoughts on the latest episode of What If Zombies. I can just give my random. I've this watched it, so I'm going to give my rambles of my opinions without having a chance to really write them down or script through everything. It should be like a try off the top of my head. So this episode kind of blended the mix between the darker aspects of the last two episodes and the more, I guess, um, playful what if scenarios of the first two episodes. There was a potential for zombies to be quite dark, but it being a zombie uh, genre episode. But not that I've seen the comics, but I can imagine this being the case. Strongly imagine the comics took a very uh, kind of self-deprecating view of it, and use it kind of as a in a kind of parodical sense. And so did this episode. I think I put a lot of praise on this episode being a very accurate adaptation of the Marvel zombie comics, having never actually read the Marvel zombie comics, which I think is maybe not entirely uh, good review on my part, but hey, whatever, I don't care. My video, I can do what I want, including adjusting the chroma key whilst I'm talking to you, which is what I'm doing because there's all these black spots appearing, which I don't like. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of dark stuff, like the people being killed brutally. Well, actually not brutal. They like, get like bit a couple of times and then it instantly turns into a zombie. It's kind of not the most brutal zombie conversion there is. But like a whole of it was kind of like like a death of Happy wasn't particularly. Well, I guess it was shocking, but it wasn't that shocking. It was more kind of play for laughs in a sense. So very much comedy horror, and it takes a lot of. It's not hiding the fact it's referencing a lot of horror films and a lot of horror zombie kind of conventions, and I think it references a couple of them explicitly. Um, but then there's like you get a whole lot of that. I look like the connotation that obviously the second the Avengers fall, that's the humanity done for because the Avengers are pretty powerful. And I also like it's continuing the whole kind of establishment that Ant-Man is quite a powerful being. Obviously in episode 2 prior, Hank Pym uses skills to basically kill all the Avengers. And same place here. In fact, almost actually the exact same way. Um, Scott used his shrinking ability to basically cause the first strike against the Avengers, and then everyone else shortly fell afterwards. And I like the kind of horror implication of the Scarlet Witch being turned into a zombie, um, and the ramifications of that, which are actually quite scary when we know what have powers in one division. I'm trying to look at the time frame of all this. So I guess that I can't remember if it was established in the actual film, but I guess that means. So we know the last scene of Ant-Man takes. So yeah. So most of Ant-Man takes place 2 weeks before Infinity War, apparently. But I can't remember if that's a new revelation or not. The time frames. Like the zombie design, it wasn't too much of a scary episode, but there was some decent like horror moments. I'm trying to remember what else kind of stood out. Obviously, Chadwick Boseman was in it. Did a quite heartfelt job in his role. Even though he wasn't, sorry, even though he wasn't front and center like he was in episode 2. I can't tell actually if I think the actor who they got to do um, Spider-Man did a good impersonation of Tom Holland's portrayal, or if it was like parts where it was like I'm not entirely sure. Like it threw me out of it. I wasn't quite sure. I think especially during his kind of monologue with the zombie survival video, a lot of that I wasn't Like a wish, bye. This is if I'm watching a video 10 minutes to one after a long, long day on my feet, riding medical for a bit of fun. I just realized how exhausted I am as soon as I started speaking. So I'll make this nice and brief. Yeah, I couldn't work out kind of how and I'm not sure why Tom Holland wasn't in this episode. I guess we can search up. I think we have a distinct number of people who haven't reprised their role. But I like how I like the zombie Avengers we saw in them, how they use how their skills ultimately manifested. I wasn't sure if the cure was meant to be like so. He developed, yeah, there's a bit of something I was confused by. I'm not sure what was happening with Scott Lang's head. Like, is the implication that his decapitated head was still alive but zombified, and that once cured it was no longer zombified but alive if it was sufficiently supported by life support? Why are they sad that anyone got eaten when they know when the cure can presumably reverse that? I'm assuming the cure reverses them getting eaten, or is it a cure as long as you take it before you convert? It's not really made clear. Wasn't he just show what happened? What was the final? I think the final bit at the end was meant to be so everything from this point onwards is going to play exactly like the end of Infinity War, but this time they're zombies, and presumably we would win and get the last stone, and we would win. It's a bit strange, although and I guess also Thanos clearly can still hold on to his goals. I'm a zombie. Um, yeah, it wasn't as I think it was more silly than it was dark, so it was entertaining. Um, but I feel like it spent a lot of time kind of paying homage. I think if it was negative, it spent too much time paying homage to other horror zombie films. Didn't really what a Marvel zombie episode could have been. But I guess it's the scope of the episode. You can't really go into much detail. But again, there was some nice touches. Obviously, it's nice seeing just about the collection of survivors because it's characters who haven't necessarily been on screen before together. So it's nice to kind of see how they would interact with each other. Bounce off each other. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I think it was enjoyable. And hopefully they do some more with it. Hopefully in the second season we get like a sequel or more zombie stuff. Because I think zombies is quite a lot to you like play around a lot with it, and they didn't do as much here. But then I guess I think I can actually admire their restraint, telling a coherent story with certain characters rather than examining the big scope of things. Um, but yeah. Too sad to form any more coherent thoughts. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys Wednesday or Thursday. Cheers.